here. I am see on the screen there are a brace. I did all the qualifying turn one just so I can get the hang of the game for myself. And you guys, if you guys want to see this more of this, subscribe. Why try? To the Why Try clan. Here we go, and they're off. Hamilton, I do believe. I'll show you in a second. Going down, I am in the middle, right in the middle of the pack. You can see right there by that Red Bull. Finally, yep, and there we go, underneath. We were trying to go over the top of Hulk wide as Carlos Sainz go underneath. I go over the top of Hulkenberg, actually get the position. Sainz comes down, pushes me off the track, but I get right back on and continue just going straight on. Get over the curve a little bit, trying to catch up to Sainz now. I dive underneath Sainz as we go into the hairpin. Now I'm trying to catch. I'm sorry, that was not Hulkenberg. This is Hulkenberg up ahead of me. I'm sorry about that. Teammate. Now we're out in front, trying to catch up to Hulkenberg's teammate, and which I cannot think of his name at the current moment. So, we're going to skip a couple laps, maybe. So, we're trying to get past 30 minutes, which shouldn't be that hard. But, I do believe I'm going to take a... This race is already recorded, or done. It's just watching the replay for all y'all wanted. As you can see down the bottom. My teammate is Pascal Wehrlein. And here we go, back into turn 1 on lap 2. Get underneath him, but we cannot get the job done. Go on the outside, can't get it done there. So we have to fall back in line. Looking to the inside. Just makes a daring move to the inside and gets the position. Now we're catching up to Ricardo, I do believe. Yes, that is Ricardo, not Sainz. Make another daring move into the hairpin, and it looks like he locked up his brakes. That should be nothing. But anyhow. Felipe Massa currently in front of us. I'm getting right up to his gearbox. This first couple of laps. Ooh, right up by him. Looking to the outside, looking to the inside, and then go to Massa here. Oh no, Massa clips me and gets spun around. And then that looks like... I believe that was Ricardo that was... Ricardo. It wasn't Verstappen, it was Ricardo. And that is actually Verstappen in front of me. Speaking of which... Skip a little ways. Actually, skip a little bit. Actually, I didn't even pay attention to that. So as we go around back Verstappen. Just control this for. Here we go, back down into the hairpin, trying to catch up with Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, as they are the quickest of the constructors, with Manor being the slowest. Yet somehow getting a 10th starting position. Let's call him too good at driving, but besides the point. And here we go, back into the corner. This Nor car is just not quick enough to catch him. Skip a little later on. Don't mind the sound. It's sounds pretty weird, I swear. Sounds like some sort of alien talk. And then I do believe we pit now. Yes, we do. Now we're going on soft as we follow out behind Raikkonen, who I do believe switches to medium. Yes, he does. Follow Raikkonen for a small while before catching up to the small pack of Renaults. And 2 Renaults, and then what looks to be in. Well, let's see. Here Raikkonen goes around Roman Grosjean. No, it's Gutierrez. I'm sorry. Gutierrez and I go down the main stretch side by side the whole way down. But I stay on his left. I stay on the inside, and Raikkonen trying to go to the outside or the inside of both the runners to go 3 wide, and does not work in his favor, as I go to the outside of Raikkonen, now to the inside, and Raikkonen pulls a little ways ahead, but I'm able to beat him out in the braking zones and also getting underneath Palmer, which is in that Renault, now to catch the other Renault. Also, I was trying to use Palmer as a leverage to get away from Raikkonen, whom is faster in that Ferrari. Getting around Magnussen. As now we're trying to catch our teammate Pascal Wehrlein. As we're in 15th position. Hello. Here we are trying to catch Pascal, whom is also my rival, let alone my teammate, from Renault Racing, as he is behind what looks to be not Force India, that is, what is that? Yeah, that is, can't tell you off the top of my head, honestly. And now we go around Nasser, now to catch up to his teammate, Ericsson. Takes a little while to catch up to Ericsson, as Ericsson is going around Alonso currently. I'm following behind Ericsson. Make a daring move to go to the inside of a 3 wide. Ericsson and Alonso making contact, with Alonso pushing Ericsson off of him, and I benefited from not getting 2 positions. Going into the dirt, or the sand a little bit. Worrying about it. Okay. Now to catch up to Felipe Massa, is that Bottas? A little bit of contact with Massa, but nothing major. Now to catch what looks to be Roman Grosjean. Yeah, that's Grosjean. There at front. Grosjean following what looks to be Hulkenberg. Oh, because that's not Haas, or not Harris, what I meant to say. It's not. Yeah, not. Nope. Oh, I thought it was, but going quite wide. Skip a little while longer. Actually, I'm gonna skip, go a little ways back. Hold on, let me try to look at something. Oh yeah, as we go down the straight, Hamilton's coming out. I'm wanting to get around Hamilton, so I follow on the outside and get around him. We make a little bit of contact, nothing major. We continue down the back stretch. Hamilton's still right behind me. Not wedging this last one. But now we're going Sainz and Grosjean battling it out for, I forget what position it is. But I go to try to look to the outside of Sainz and go to the inside with a tiny bump. Hamilton is now stuck behind Sainz, so that gives me a small bit of an advantage to get away from him, as he is faster. Now to catch Roman Grosjean, which shouldn't be difficult. Yeah, and there's some. Nope. Might be a little while longer, actually. actually get him in the hairpin. Sure it is. Sure. And then, yep, there's the contact. But we get spun around just enough that we can continue on. Oh, I know where my place we're in. We're actually in third, actually. As Kvyat is second. Or, yes, Kvyat is second currently. And I do believe it's not Rosberg for the lead. I know it's not. Hold on, let's go look. That would be myself. That's Vettel and Grosjean. No, that's not key yet. And back to the back again. Oh yeah, that was when Max Verstappen has gone out now. Actually blowing his engine. Okay, now back to where the heck I am. Duly, that's Kvyat's right there. Yeah, because Max Verstappen's teammate is Kvyat. Wasn't Bottas, nor was it Massa leaving. But that's besides the point. We're gonna skip a little while longer. Yeah, we're at 13 minutes and I'm halfway through this race, so we're good. Okay, go a little bit more, just a lap or so more. I like that view. I'm going around the final corner. Yeesh. As soon as I get to the lap of the pit, I can tell you what. Because I remember the pitting laps. Nothing interesting, nothing interesting, nothing interesting. Actually, I do believe I am leading the race at this moment. Yes, I am, because Vettel and Hamilton are both behind me. So at this point in the race, I am leading because Kvyat, because I eventually became second. Kvyat stayed out, did not go into the pits. He then eventually went into the pits as I was following behind in third, way behind, but besides the point. And Vettel and Hamilton are both not far behind. As I do believe Vettel will eventually catch. Yeah, we're gonna focus on these two back here for a minute. As I do believe here is where it is. Is it here? Yeah, it is. No, may not be. Yeah, it was. Here we go. Move by myself. Hold on, let me switch the camera views. I went down to let Vettel in. Hamilton coming full force into me. Pushing me nearly all the way, pushing me down. And I still somehow managed to get back on track, no damage. And I walk away clean as Hamilton has, well, damaged his vehicle. As him and Lewis Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel battle it out. Ooh. And small bit of contact made to Vettel's side pod, but as he is able to defend off Lewis Hamilton. And Vettel now chasing myself down in order to take first place. And we're gonna skip a little while longer until Sebastian does catch me. Alright, I'm gonna skip off of Vettel and go to myself. Yep, I made a mistake there. And Vettel capitalizes and pretty much had me from there. Hamilton, on the other hand, could not catch me as he had a damaged wing, so his downforce was, well, very much so. Very much so declined. Now here, Vettel just gets away as he is the quicker of the two cars, as he is the second fastest constructor. His team is the second fastest constructor. Hamilton pitting this lap came in. I sneak underneath Vettel. Little bit of contact, but nothing major. Vettel nearly pushing me off the track, trying to squeeze me out. I have to then eventually fall back in line. Here comes the braking zone. I dive back underneath Vettel to take first place back. And this battle goes on for about a lap or so. Maybe a little bit more. But Vettel and I are all out there by ourselves. There's no way we couldn't be. I do believe I mess up and Vettel takes advantage of this. Yes, he does. Although I have to fall back behind though. And as we come up to this braking zone, I do believe I do the same thing once more. As you saw here, I too daring, didn't get slowed down quite in time. But thanks to the car going the way it did, and just very lightly tapping Vettel's gearbox. Lightly tapping Vettel's gearbox, I continue going. And yet somehow still first. Tell me why that makes no sense. Why that makes sense. It doesn't. Vettel now looking to the outside. As now on this lap, I do believe I'm going to give Vettel the room to go around me on the outside. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Vettel tries to, but falls back behind in line as we go down into the turn. And still can't tell you what lap this is. Yep, Vettel goes to the outside. The braking zone. Go back up underneath Vettel. Staying on the outside. This time I give Vettel a nudge so he won't push me off the track. Vettel eventually gets back ahead of me. Still, next braking zone, go back underneath Vettel. As I am eventually pushing Vettel, having to slow down, but then eventually Vettel also has to slow down, and that gives me the chance to break away. Hairpin, Vettel's still up on my gearbox. Vettel just not leaving me alone. So I more toe in and out, basically. Simplistically meaning that I get out of the corners, and I get in and out of the corners much faster than Vettel and most of the other cars. Really stupid mistake right there. Went too wide out. Too wide. Way too wide. Sebastian looking to the outside once more. I do believe now I'm going to give him the room to go around over the top. He gets ready to, but as we get to the braking zone, he falls back in line. That's a move I used to toy around with the AI. And okay, I can tell you what lap we're on now. We're on lap 15. Now switching to mediums, which now, well, this will be, there's no more pit stops, as Lewis Hamilton is currently behind me. With, I do believe that looks to be Nasser or Ericsson. And then, who's this front of me? I cannot tell you at this current moment. Oh, that is Hulkenberg. I'm not for sure on who his teammate is. That was because I was playing with the command, or not commands. I was talking to my, spotter, there we go. Now, Lewis Hamilton breaking away from the pack, catching up to myself. Yeah, that is Hamilton. If I remember Hamilton coming in and out. Hulkenberg going into the pits now. I do believe that is Felipe Massa. Yes, this is Massa. That's Hulkenberg's teammate, and I do believe he, got back up there. I'm gonna skip a little bit, because I know eventually Dumbo catches me. Well, I think we're on lap 17 currently. No, because that'd be wrong. Yep, and I have to give Hamilton the inside, falling back behind in line. And now Hamilton just taking off. An attempt to catch what I do believe is Felipe Massa. I actually dived back underneath Hamilton. Ugh, barely cutting close when he dives back underneath me. Or dives back behind me. He's kind of speed to save my life. He comes down and slowing down to go around the hairpin. That's the end of sector 1. Coming around to the second hairpin on this track. Oh, sorry, that's third hairpin. I'm sorry about that, third hairpin. Hamilton right up on my gearbox. Looking around, seeing where he can possibly get around me at. Once I do believe we are 5th and 6th currently. I do believe. Hamilton going to the outside as both slows down. Hamilton, then again, because I kind of squeezed him out. Slowing down to avoid being hit. I'm allowing Hamilton to go back on the outside. He actually gets it. But, and of course, same thing I've been doing all race. I was doing the old stop a little bit later. Still side by side, having to fall back in line, considering Hamilton is the faster of the two cars. Going back underneath Hamilton and actually gaining position this time. And getting a little bit of ground, kind of jumping the corner. And up to the third hairpin, and the third and final hairpin as I make a mistake going on the outside a bit. Keeping a little ways ahead. Or at least attempting to. Let's see, who came out? That would be Sebastian Vettel. Yeah, and then, okay, I'm sorry. Lewis Hamilton actually pitted earlier on. As now his teammate Rosberg is behind me. We're attempting to go around the inside of Vettel. Vettel's still on the outside. Actually regaining his position. Diving in front of me. I have to slow down a bit more to avoid running into the back end of him. Looking to dive in underneath him in the hairpin. Did not work. And then Vettel's pretty much gone as soon as I make that mistake right there. And yes, it is Kvyat leading the race, actually. Scared me too. A little bit. I'll catch up. I'm gonna skip a little bit more until we get to the point where I'm having to fend off Rosberg for the rest of the freaking race. There we go. Did not notice that when I was racing Rosberg, as I was not on the side. Actually, I may have been, just never noticed the damage yet. I actually would have been. Had he actually taken the inside. But, yeah, he doesn't. Ends up, this goes on for until the end of the race, actually, as Vettel will lead eventually, and Kvyat will have to pit, causing him to be knocked out of the podium position. I'm not far sure how far back he was knocked. Going on the third and final hairpin once more. Coming down, Rosberg is catching, but not enough, as we are both on, actually both on mediums, Vettel being on soft, so he's quicker, a bit quicker than both me and Rosberg. But then again, you have the fastest constructor, and then you have the slowest constructor right here, together. With the slower constructor actually fending off the faster constructor for the next 8 laps or so. I'll skip a little bit more, as Rosberg is ahead of me. I eventually sneak up underneath Rosberg. As you see, Rosberg a little bit clipped my back end. But we'll continue on. This goes on for the next couple of laps or so. That's fine. Let's see. Keep going. Come on, continue a little bit more. Yep, Rosberg and I go side by side. Touch wheels, actually. Hold on, let me make sure that was true. Yep, right there. Let me go to a different camera. Yep, right there. I kind of clip his back in. So here's what I'm seeing all race. And then I kind of come up next to him and like, really? I kind of give him a little push. I'm sitting here doing this. And I say Nico, I'm going to go ahead and switch back to that other camera. There we go. Okay, so don't worry about that noise. As I'm going to go ahead and skip to the end of this race, actually. Just gonna skip to the end of this race. Although I will show you guys the last lap. It's not last lap yet, cause I know when the last lap is, because Rosberg had the lead on the last lap. Actually, this might be the last lap. Yeah, I do believe this is the last lap. Yeah, it is. Going down this road. Why did I say that? Really? Not the word I was looking for. But here we go. Roster trying to look to the inside, but the braking boom comes up before he can look too much into it. I come down, block his view of the inside, ultimately resulting in his third position. He's gonna look to my outside as I'm going to give it to him, primarily, but not too much to the point where he's gonna win this race. I basically squeeze out Rosberg. Here we go, down the front stretch, and for the final lap, there's a win. Oh, wait, nope, sorry. Take that back. I did not say anything. Don't remember that. DRS, there. Anyway, alright, let's try this again. Yep, Rosberg taking it over, trying to follow up behind Rosberg, take it back in the first corner, have it through the second corner, through the third, down the straightaway, Rosberg looking to the inside, going to the, resulting in the outside, keeping the inside, going to the going in, gets taking position back once more, actually getting a bit of a distance on Rosberg, enough that I can at least have some breathing room. Going around the second hairpin. I already lost count of how many places it was. There we go, down, around, and slowing down. Got around it. Down the straight, I do. There's Lewis Hamilton back in the back, which is actually Rosberg's teammate, but that's not for now. I'm gonna let y'all see this here. Rosberg actually looks to the outside a little bit on that turn, not during the straight. Actually, I let him have the outside, but he won't take it for a little while, and he goes to take it, gets it, but I squeeze him out, jumping the curb a small bit, and there you go. Alright, 29 laps of Bahrain, 35 minutes, the race probably took about 45. Alright. Well, alright, forget that, nope, stop the game, back in. Yep, and I finished second, the race lasting, actually almost 15 minutes, I'm sorry. Yep. Yep, Nico Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton, Daniel Kvyat, Felipe Massa, Roman Grosjean, and Sergio Perez rounding out the top 8. As he started in started in 8th position, I started in 10th. Rosberg started 1st. Lewis Hamilton starting 4th. Sebastian Vettel starting 2nd, so he didn't move much, but he definitely got 1st, so I started 10th. And for Daniel Kvyat, he started 17th. And he went all the way to 5th. So, there you go. Felipe starting 14th. I was pretty sure he was higher than that, unless he passed me sometime. Ricardo finishing 9th. Hulkenberg finishing 10th. Valtteri Bottas finishing 11th. Carlos Sainz finishing 12th. Fernando Alonso finishing 13th, as he started 13th. Marcus Ericsson starting 18th, finished 14th. Kimi Räikkönen, however, started 3rd, finished 15th. Man, you were even higher. She should have messed it in a number on you, putting you behind them Renaults. Pascal Wehrlein, also my teammate, finishing 16th, starting 20th. Jeez. Nasser starting 19th, finishing 17th. Esteban Gutierrez starting 18th. Starting 16th, going to 18th. Kevin Magnussen starting 21st, finishing 19th. Palmer starting 22nd, finishing 20th. Max Verstappen being the second person to go out, and Jenson Button the first. Yep. There you have it, guys. Episode 1 of my career for F1 2016. I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye.